Hey guys, I guess I'm doing up my second video for our YouTube channel here. I just actually came back from an outdoor bike ride, which was a little on the chilly side, but man, did it feel good to get outside. It shows that the training that I'm doing inside is having a positive impact on my overall health. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what Amanda and I have scheduled for the season. I'll show you our race schedule, what we have set up, and anything that might go along with that. So okay, so this is my Google Calendar just specifically for our training schedule. So on April the 29th is a half marathon for me in Alliston or New Tecumseh. That one was originally set up to be a training race for my half Ironman in May, which I've scheduled in September instead of May now. So blue is me, red is Amanda, and green is both of us. So this doesn't have our whole summer planned out yet. This is what we've actually committed to. So I've got a half marathon on the 29th of April. May is actually a totally empty month for us, which is very unusual. It's kind of nice. June the 3rd, I'm going to do the sprint try in Milton. And then on the 16th, we're doing a 10K Toronto waterfront run. In July, we actually have a week off in here, so that's kind of why it's a little bit bare, because normally right around, I believe the 8th is the Muskoka Half Ironman, which is a great race, and I have a lot of fun with a couple of my buddies. We go up to somebody's cottage and just have a wonderful time. I'm skipping that this year because of vacation time. I'm going to do the sprint try in Niagara at the end of July. And as you can see, it starts to get busy here. Amanda's got the Iron Girl Triathlon, which is in Niagara, or I guess, yeah, anyways, around there, which is a totally awesome event. I love being a spectator and watching her do her thing, which is awesome. The week after, I've got a sprint try in Aurelia, and the week after that, we got a 5K Bayshore run. That's a local run in Owen Sound that we're looking forward to doing. September is the kind of my A race, which is the Barrelman Triathlon in Niagara Falls. So that's a half Ironman distance, just not a half Ironman sanctioned event. So that'll be a 2,000 meter swim, 90K bike, and a 21.1 kilometer run. The long weekend, which is right here, the third, I believe the first is Guelph 2 Triathlon, which has been, I've done Guelph 1 or Guelph 1 and 2 every year for the last few years. And I'm going to be missing out on Guelph 1 this year because of another race, which I think would be this one right here, this Toronto 10K race that Amanda and I are doing. One of my favorite things to do is to race with Amanda. I don't race against her. We run together whenever we do an event together. So it's just a really enjoyable time. It's something that we love doing together. So anyway, that's our race calendar. I'll do another video a little while showing you our training, or my training calendar. So now that you've seen sort of what we have scheduled, obviously with that half marathon for me coming up in a couple of weeks, that's sort of been my focus. So I've set up my Training Peaks program now to focus more on run. I'm going to do the odd bike like I did this morning just to sort of refresh my legs. I did a 17K run yesterday as my long run. Going up about 2 kilometers a week until I get to 23K. Then I'll do an 11K run the week before my race, and then I'll do the race, which is 21.1. Anyway, so today I did like a 16.5K bike ride outside, which just felt awesome. So anyway, that's been what's going on with me. We continue to look for ways to inspire ourselves, but also one of our biggest goals has been to continue to inspire others. We use that, we call this leverage in our house. Whenever you've got a goal, what I want you to do is set that goal and figure out the why behind it. I know there's a lot of people that'll say, once you figure out your why, the how you're going to attain it's going to figure itself out. I don't agree. It takes a lot of work. The why has to be huge though. And what I mean by that is our why wasn't just our health, to be healthy. You'd think that would be a big enough why for most of us, but the truth is, if you look around, it's not. That's why the majority of people in our society are not fit, they're not healthy, they're not taking care of themselves. I think they'd like to be healthy, I just don't know that they have a big enough why. So a couple of things that happened for us was that number one, I focused on my family. I thought I'm going to inspire my family first. I suppose inspiration actually is my biggest why. I focused on inspiring my family, including especially my children. I wanted them to grow up seeing that getting out and exercising is just a normal part of life, and that's what you're supposed to do. And it's paid off. They're definitely taking those steps and sort of following in our footsteps as well. The other thing is in my office, I think I mentioned earlier that I'm a chiropractor, and I want to be a leader when it comes to health. And I think that for me to give good advice to people and for people to want to take that advice, they need to see me living that, not just, a great big overweight guy telling them that they should take care of themselves because it's good for their health. So that was another reason. And the other one, which was the big one for Amanda and I in January of 2016, because that was really our biggest transformational year as far as our physical growth went. And one of the things that we did was we just said, there's a lot of people watching. People are constantly watching what other people are doing. And we said, let's give them something to talk about. And I don't mean negative, I mean something positive. Matter of fact, we want to live a life that if somebody does want to talk negative, that hopefully most people won't believe them anyway. That's we're trying our best to just live a good life. So what we did is we said, let's use that as our why. If we could start to make this change in our life to show people what's possible, then they start to look and they can make those positive choices. And honestly, I wish I'd been journaling all the times that people talked to Amanda or myself, or they sent a message or a text, because it was overwhelming. It still is. We still have people that talk to us about it, but the overwhelming response, a lot of them were people that really weren't in our circle. They were people that would send a message on Facebook that would say, hey, I saw you guys run past my house this morning, and all I could think of was, man, I'd really love to be doing that. So I started walking, and I started doing this, and I'm now up to 2.5K. And so that was sort of our purpose behind that. And again, it's the driving force behind this channel. Who knows who we could reach? There could be one person. If one person changes something positive in their life to get out and exercise, to walk more, to start to focus on their nutrition, I'd love to hear from them to say, hey, we made this change, or I've made this change because I saw what you and Amanda were doing, and it just made me realize that I really wanted to make that kind of a change as well. So anyway, that's our goal here. One of the things I do want to focus on with you is that I don't want you comparing yourself to other people. And we talk about this in my office a lot, because somebody will come in and say, listen, hey, Dr. Quist, I've started running again. Now I'm not going as far as you, and I don't go as fast as you. And I tell them, first of all, you don't know how fast I go. So you can't say that, number one. Number two, stop comparing yourself, right? I put a lot of time into this so far. So what I want you to understand is that comparison leads to pride, or it leads to condemnation. And those are the only two outcomes from comparing yourself. So when you compare yourself to another person, you're either going to have, live in a prideful state, which is not a good state to be in. You don't want to be comparing them, wow, I'm so much faster than that person, and look at how much farther I can go than that person. There's no benefit to that. And then the other side of it is condemnation, which is where a lot of people leave. They condemn themselves because look at that person, I'm not going near as fast as them, or I'm not going near as far as them, right? When in reality, if you're out and you go around the block, that's one more block than you did yesterday. If you want to compare, just compare yourself to yourself. My best advice, journal what you're doing. Journal how you feel. Go out and go for a walk around the block and write down if you're short of breath. Write down if if it felt like it took forever, if it was exhausting, if your legs were sore. Because what I want you to recognize, in about 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to be able to walk 2 blocks and not feel those things. So anyway, right now I just want you to start to focus on making positive changes. If you're already out there exercising, awesome. Understand that people are watching. Keep doing it. Help them grow. Let them see you. It's not, we don't go out there to exercise so that people can see us. I mean, that's why half the time I go out, it's dark out. But the whole point is that they know what we're doing, and I want you to know that, you could be that inspiration for the next person. Some of the most inspiring people that I see in a day are some of the people that are just starting to get up off the couch. Literally, they've got horrible knees, their back's killing them. they're 80 or 90 pounds overweight, and they've said, hey, I started walking. Do you know how much that inspires me to keep doing all the things that I'm doing? It does. So you have no idea what kind of an impact you're going to have on another person's life by making those positive choices. So stay healthy, stay fit, think positive, have a wonderful day, and we'll chat with you soon.